So for this week's video, this will be the giveaway shed. For those of you that haven't watched any of my videos recently, I have a shed in the background at some point in the video. The first person who sees it and comments the correct time that this shed is in the video, I will pin the comment at the top of the comment section. That'll be how you know somebody has won. The winner has the choice between this shed or a hat. And also, if you enjoy these videos, please make sure to like this video as well as subscribe and then hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop my most recent videos. So good luck to everybody, and let's see what this week brings. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, and I took work off today to go shed hunting here. Originally, my plans were to take Monday and Tuesday off of work since I didn't get to go last weekend. And unfortunately, we got 3 inches of snow on Sunday night into Monday morning. So that threw the plans off big time. We did get some snow melt yesterday, so there are bare spots, and we got a lot of farms left to hit. We're just playing the cards we're dealt. I don't know if this farm has been hit. This is the first time I've shed hunted it. And let's hope that this vacation day proves to be a good one. This farm is one that if you had the ability to let it grow up and take the livestock out of it, it would be an absolute dynamite bedding farm. Just one of those ones where it's got those really nice pockets of cedars. You let that native grass grow up. It's deer habitat galore. Just reminds me of some of the farms that I find some of my best sheds on and some of the most amounts of sheds on. The only difference is here they run livestock.
I was starting to think that there's a little too much snow. I could very likely be walking by some, but I just came up from this old one right here. I'm a little bit more optimistic that I'm not walking by stuff with the fact that I actually saw this one right here. Yep, that is a good one. Definitely an old one. Nice. Alright, let's see if we can find some more. Well, we got another old one here. It's a good sign. Means nobody's been shed hunting this. Just a little guy. Right here in the cedar thicket. She's hot.
Alright, we haven't found a shed yet on this farm. But if we don't find one on this bank that I'm about to walk up, and the rest of this parcel that I have to hit, I'll be extremely shocked because we're at the best part of it now, where it's a south-facing slope. Majority of the snow's melted. And I am a little surprised we haven't found one yet because there is a lot of good bedding, but I don't know exactly where the closest food is. And then all that snow, it just came 2 days ago. I mean, there's just deer sign everywhere. Boy, oh boy.
Came across the fresh one in a while, and I'm coming up here, and bam, right on this path. Oh, I'm jacked, man. Oh yeah, that's a cool one. Tight, short, and another one for the count. So let's go see if we can find some more. That's exciting. On the third farm today, this is actually the same farm that we shed hunted last Friday, where we found 5 sheds in 2 hours. But because we had other commitments, we weren't able to shed hunt the entire farm. So I decided to come back today because there are some places I still need to check. And given the layout of this farm, I would not be surprised if there's a few more sheds. Finally came across one that wasn't as big as the ones from earlier today. Definitely from this year, and the dam, wow, that's just ridiculous. You know, that could be oh, that's just crazy. Laying like that. I wonder if it's not mice getting underneath there. So I feel like the squirrels would be like up here or something. I don't know enough about it, but that thing's almost garbage, even though it is fresh. I mean, it still has a little bit of its wax ring. That's just disappointing. All right, fourth farm today. Never shed hunted it. It's about 60 acres. Looks like it'd be pretty good. I think majority of it's horse pasture, but that's okay. I swear, today must be the day of old sheds. Obviously, this farm isn't being hit that hard. Oh my. That one's really nice. Oh boy. Yeah, that would have been a good one to find. We actually had found the other side to that deer 4 years ago. This is from the spring of 2018. This is from the spring of 2022. Definitely the same deer, and we actually have the match set off of this deer from the year before. But I thought that was really cool because that means that this shed has been laying around for 4 years. And you can see it doesn't have any marks on it. But we found this one the year it dropped. You can see it still has its wax ring, right? And it got chewed to crap. So it just depends on where they drop them, how bad the squirrels are gonna hit them. But I thought that was pretty neat. But anyways, we were able to close the book and find the other shed off of that one. So very cool. All right, so we're gonna get refueled here and we're gonna go find a shed on farm number 5. This farm we're on right now appears to be fresh. Just talked to the landowners. They didn't say that anybody else had been here. That's a good sign. It's an 80-acre farm, and a majority of it's CRP, which is good, but it's hard to look, especially when there's snow. And there's like a little draw that kind of runs through the middle of it. I don't anticipate there being a high quantity of deer on this farm. It's great cover, the type of cover that attracts mature bucks, but just not enough of it to, you know, walk away with 10 sheds, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. The lone cedar out here, you know, there's not much cover, but you can see that they've probably been scraping here, rub there, rub there. As far as sheds go, I would love to be here when they do a controlled burn and burn all this off. I bet that there are some old sheds that are out in the middle of the CRP. I saw this, I got really excited. I see those tines from a ways back. Come up and it's obviously an old one, but oh. Ooh. Yeah, that would have been a good one. Good thing it's all intact though. I'm not gonna complain about that. There's actually no chew mark to it. Another day, another dollar, but not another shed, at least yet. Today is Friday, March 11th. Based on the type of weather that we're having, you might think it's Friday, January 11th, but it's actually Friday, March 11th. We just got hit with anywhere between 1 to 3 inches of snow. Basically, everywhere that I can shed hunt has been hit with snow. So we went to a farm that we thought would have the least amount of snow. You know, we only get so many hours a week to be able to do this. And so we got to play the cards we're dealt. I did run cameras here this year. There was a couple pretty good bucks, nothing too exciting. But there was one that came rolling through during the rut that looked like he'd be pretty nice. Only one picture of him though. Not only do we get the shed hunt just this 40-acre parcel that we had permission to bow hunt, but we also have permission on the ground that's right around it as well, which is a good chunk of ground. The only bad side is it is pasture. The other bad thing is we all have all this snow. It's frustrating, but we're getting out, we're enjoying it, we're seeing new stuff. And you never know what you might trip on. This spot is so good. It should have a shed right here. This is where you bam right there would be one.
back up here. But nope. Nope, no luck here. Now the landowner doesn't have much ground here that's not pasture, but he does have a little bit, and it definitely looks like the deer are corralling here. It also appears that there's some sort of inlet up here that likely could have food, which would explain why the deer sign has also increased significantly. Well, this definitely will explain why the deer signs increased tenfold. Whoever rents this out has a food plot, standing beans right here. That might explain why we haven't came across the shed yet. I'm seeing batteries right here, probably from this year. Probably had a camera up right here. Interesting. This has been shed hunted. Nobody leaves standing beans like this in an area like this just to let them go to waste. Well, I just found a monster here. We've been walking some really good stuff and haven't found anything yet. It's about 2 o'clock now. And I looked over here, and when I was standing back here, I could see a stick that curled underneath that stick. I'm like, there's no way that's an antler. But then I pulled it up in the binos, and I'm standing 10 yards from me. I was just like, I'm too lazy to go walk over and look at it. I'm like, no, that actually is a shed. Well, it looks like it's got the grainage of a shed, but it's actually, it looks like it could be a stick because of the color. And so I walk over to it, and it is a shed. But it's an old one. Jesus. Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. Is it ready to break? I don't know how old that is, but
Probably clean it up a little bit. That's weird.
that is a neat shed. Almost walked right by it. You can see it's getting chewed all over on this side. Well, somebody's cleaned, it's cleaned up on this farm, I would say, this year, but they definitely didn't find one of the nice ones from a previous year. As you can see, there's been an ass load of deer sign, and we have not found a shed other than this old one. We were coming up this south facing slope. I was telling Dad I think this is probably going to be our best chance because they're standing beans 2 ridges over. You can see the deer traversing back and forth from the beans all the way to here. And so I would think if somebody's lazy and they didn't want to get off the side by side, this is going to be the next best spot other than the field edge of where those beans are. And that proved to be the truth, as we now see a second shed here. And this is surprising. I can't tell if it's old or... No, it's definitely fresh this year, but the leaves are on top of that. That's which is pretty cool. If that is last year's, no, it's not. It's definitely this year's. You can see that's this year's. Still got wax ring on it. But he's on the south-facing slope here. Time's up. Another shed down. So we'll hopefully find a few more here. Well, it's been a while because I was actually just talking to somebody else that hunts this ground. And I was coming up to this top here, actually just trying to work my way back to the truck. And there's a shed right there. There we go. Another one down. There isn't a lot of food close to this farm. So it makes sense that there's a lot of sign here where the locust pods are in that thick timber. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a shed here. The only hard part is with the snow here, I've got to see it from the perfect angle to find it. Well, here we are, first one of the day. And that's sad. That would have been an awesome shed. Would have had a split G2 for a 6-point, which is really cool. You never see that. But man, the squirrels are bad here. Oh well, it's another one to the count though. All right, I just crossed this creek. There was some good paths coming over here, and actually came up and you can see these white tines sticking up real nice. Tines up. That was a good buck. Definitely an old one.
but he's not being left to lay. Would have been nice to find that one last year, but we aren't going to let him lay for this year. So good find, and maybe we'll get some more. Holy cow, I was just walking up here, came up to this fence because I was like, looking, it's a great spot for a deer to come to just walk down this fence line. There's good paths here. And I look back and there's one right there. Very cool, but the only reason I saw that is because I looked back. I actually walked right by it, but it would have been impossible to see with that sun. But unfortunately, it's an old one. But I'm not going to complain about it, to be completely honest with you, because, you know, open timber's tough, and I'm glad we got it. And it also gets us one step closer to 100. All right, here we go. We're on the third farm today. Hopefully we can find a couple more sheds. This is actually a really good farm. It's a farm that I have bow hunted a little bit. Had some good encounters with some nice bucks here. Not a lot of food here. Don't have high expectations for sheds, but you never know what you might come stumbling across. It does have a lot of variety. It's got good cover. It's got CRP, cedars, and nice field edges. It's been a long day so far. We have found a few sheds. Can't ask for much more than that. We're getting closer and closer to 100. We're gonna do everything we can to break that 100 this year. I just got done talking to the camera probably about 150 yards back. Still coming up this fence line and came across the first shed. There you go. Time's up, nice color, pretty fresh. It's always a treasure to find these little ones. Yes sir, cannot miss this one. Here we go. So we got a nice 4-point. Look at that, the open timber stands out like a sore thumb with that sun at your back. Pretty fresh. Nice. Doesn't look like there's any marks from string. And yeah, I think I know that buck. I think this buck was the one that I had an encounter with, a really nice buck that I rattled in, and just out of pure coincidence, at the time that I rattled, that the buck that I wanted to come in turned on a beeline, came towards me, and then this buck, just out of pure coincidence, at the same time was pushing a doe out the other direction, kind of, and basically met the buck that was coming to me about 80 yards out. Long story short, the big one took the doe, pushed this one off, and then the doe and the big one ran off in the sunset, and then this guy came walking back and gave me a shot, but this wasn't the one I wanted to get a shot at. So either way, I'm super happy I could find his shed. That's so cool. I think this is the buck that I have film of. Great shed, nice and tight, and maybe we'll find his other side. Came up on a monster deadhead right there. Monster. This is pretty cool. In one of my videos from last year, my uncle found a shed off of this buck right up there. This buck was dead last year. You can see how much he's worn away this year, and you can see how he doesn't have a shed here. Man, I hate spiders. Coming up through this open timber, and voila, nice little 2-point. How about that? Another one down. And more closer to 100. You know, he does, but he obviously, like everybody else, he wants to be there when when you're finding a lot. And I think I might have just found one, Marty. Come on, tell me. Yes, sir. Yes. It's been a while since I found one, so I'm a little happy that. No, it's all right. No, I'm another guy's farm, but mice haven't got a hold of him yet. No. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. I walked by his other side. I'm an idiot. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I walked right by his other side. I walked right by it, and I have it on video. I just walked right by it like this. That is just dumb on my part. Wow. Yeah, it's a good thing that you're talking to me because it just had me walking around in circles here. Yep, we'll see ya. You guys are not gonna believe this, but I was just talking to my father-in-law on the phone, and I see this one obviously from where I'm at. I had and I think I got this all on video, so this is awesome. I had no clue that first one was there. I probably almost kicked that one. I could barely see that one all the way up there. That's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a look at it. And as you guys will see in the video, I must have walked right by this one, didn't even see it. I was focused on talking on the phone. I was super excited about this one. And then as I came back and turned around, you can see the tips on that one. That is a prime example of why you always want to keep the sun at your back. That is a perfect example. I couldn't think of a better example. I can't believe that. Wow, that's really scary when you think about how many other ones that I probably walked by today. There's one side of this buck. There's the other side. Another two. We're getting closer to 100, but guys, it's gonna get tough here, so hopefully, you know, we can get to 100, but we're gonna need this kind of stuff to keep happening if we want to get there. We got a nice one right here. Oh yeah, we're just on the last section here, and that is exactly the buck I wanted to find. Oh yes. Yes, this is the buck. This is the one I wanted to find so bad. Time's up right there, just like that. Not a chew mark. Oh boy, that's the one I wanted. Yes sir. Look at that thing. Look at that brow tine. That is so cool. He's spurred out right here like that. I didn't think I was gonna find it just with the lack of food in the area. And I've been very surprised with the number of sheds that we found on this farm, given the lack of food. You can see it definitely stands out because his G2s and his G3s on both sides curled forward. And on both sides he had split brow tines. He had and it was just like this on the other side. The other side was identical to this. I can't believe there's not even a chew mark. Oh yeah, he's fresh. I saw this buck at 400 yards back during the rut. I hit the rattling antlers together. He turned on a beeline, came right back to me, and as he's like on his way over, I'm not joking you, at the same time, this other buck, that 7-point that I found a shed off of earlier today, comes walking out behind a doe, and basically he pushes that doe about 80 yards in front of me. And when he does that, this buck sees the doe on his way in, picks her up, gets her scent, pushes the 7-point away from her, and then pushes her back to where he came from. So basically the 7-point screwed me over. I was about to get an opportunity at this deer, and I'm glad I didn't, because a couple days later I ended up filling my tag on a nice buck that's probably about the same size, if not a little bit bigger, and I've got the shed off of this buck now, so I really don't care. And this buck will be a hog next year. That is a beast. Those G2s and G3s are wicked. It looks like his like blood circulation stopped there, because they almost look like a velvet deadhead. You'll find that they'll have like the spongy tips. That's what this buck looks like. And now I know this deer's made it through, which is awesome. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see him again next year. But I need to keep moving, because I need to find his other side. So I'm working the last stretch here. Still got this one in my hand. And I was coming up here, and actually when I was walking up, I just thought it was like piss or something. You can see like something's piss there. No, this is a shed. This is a shed. Or yeah, it's got to be last year's. I'll be damned. Probably a late dropper, but it's another one for the count this year. Wow. All right, we gotta keep moving though. That's insane. That's probably the luckiest find I've ever had. Just barely sticking up out of the snow. Huh. Well, that's going to conclude this week's video. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and then also hit the bell so you can be notified when we release more videos. And stay tuned because there are more videos to come. We are getting closer and closer to our goal of 100. And if you like this video, I'm sure you're going to like some of the other videos that are to come.